I Know What You Did Last Summer is getting a legacy reboot.
It is.
We're very happy about that.
I couldn't lose you again.
I know that you and Jennifer Love Hewitt are in talks.
Sure, yeah.
How close are you to saying, okay, let's sign on the dotted line?
I think both sides, them and me, are super motivated to get it done. Look, negotiations are weird. One week they're going great, and the next week they're going awful. We haven't had an awful week, so there could be an awful week.
Right.
I have no idea, but I really don't get too involved in it until a contract is signed.
Have you been slipped a script yet? Have you seen anything?
Yeah, I read a script.
Okay.
Yeah,
And
I probably shouldn't have said that, but yeah, I read a script.
No, I like that. So in your head, is Ray where you thought Ray would be? And is he still with Julie?
I mean, they went through a pretty traumatic experience.
Yeah.
If they were able to survive that and stay together, they'd be a better couple than me and my wife in real life.
Right.
See, maybe they toughed it out. It's Hollywood. They like happy endings.
There
So
you
maybe
go.
they gutted it out.
So where do you see Ray? Like just as a person?
I think it's what they went through is pretty traumatic. So as long as he carries that weight, then I think he's in the right place. If he doesn't carry that weight, then we messed up.
I'll never mention it again.
We make a pact. Right here and now we take this to our grave.
We've been together now for over 2 decades. She was just at the premiere last week. What was it back in the 90s? I mean, we know she's beautiful, but what was it about her back then that stood out to you or just made you say, this is something?
No, we were friends first.
Okay.
I was not her type, and she wasn't my type at all. We were just friends. All of a sudden, we went out to a dinner that was supposed to be, there was supposed to be a third person there, and they no-showed. And so we just went to dinner ourselves, and then when dinner ended, things just kind of were different.
Oh.
And maybe it was just alcohol, or maybe we just saw each other differently for the first time, but it was no longer friendly. It was definitely romantic. And we both just rode the wave, and it's just been it's been a great wave.
And I do love a love story. And I was thinking about this and I thought, you guys really have grown up together.
Sure.
Like, what has been your favorite part of just growing up with somebody?
I think being with someone you respect, who can challenge you without you getting insecure.
Yeah,
Be true.
I like that. Camila Mendes and Madeline Klein have both signed
Yeah,
on
man.
for
They're
the-
all,
for the
my
film.
daughter freaked out when she heard.
So what advice do you have for them about getting into a franchise like this that's a juggernaut?
How did I maneuver? I'm making lots of mistakes. That's how I maneuvered. Making lots and lots and lots of mistakes and going, wow, I don't want that to happen twice.
Are you and Mom like getting a divorce?
No, your mother and I love each other very much.
Okay, just breathe. Everything's gonna be okay.
Were you talking to yourself or your mistress?
Welcome back to the thriller genre.
Thanks very
We
much.
missed you. What was it about this movie and this genre that made you say, I'm gonna return, and that you love so much?
This script was really weird.
Yeah.
I saw all this dark humor in it, and the director and I were really nervous that no one would laugh because it's a thriller at its heart. But it had all these opportunities for this dark, weird, absurd humor because the stakes are here and it's equal absurd and seriousness at the same time. So we had the little premiere that we went to, and the first joke plays, and I only hear one laugh, and it's my manager's laugh. I can recognize. I was like, oh no. And then all of a sudden, because it's an uncomfortable movie, all of a sudden, once one person laughed, I started hearing more chuckles. Usually the roles that I played, they were perfect guys that make all the right decisions, and you love them for that. So when you get an opportunity to be the exact opposite of what you've always been, any actor would be excited.
I have dinner plans with Kristen later.
Come on, I just want to celebrate with you.
Tom? Tom, you okay?
I don't know. I love you, but I have a family.
We're used to seeing you as the guy, the man,
Yeah.
like the all-American.
Sure.
And then here you're just like a total mess.
Nah, he's not a good husband. He's not a
No.
good father. He's not a good son-in-law. He's not good at
Not a good
anything.
friend.
No,
not
he's-
a good cheater.
He's
not a good
no, he's
anything.
not. He's a terrible
He's
liar.
everything.
He's driven by insecurity.
Yeah.
I think it's a character that a lot of people can relate to, but they
Mm-hmm.
would never admit to relating to.
We are the same generation, so I grew up on the movies that we love that that you did, you and Monica Potter back together again.
Man.
Yes, it's been, gosh, over 20 years now since Head Over Heels.
And Monica was just nice enough to come in, and if she can hang with Robin Williams, then she can certainly hang with me. So I just relied on her to bring everything that she brings to the table. Same with Kevin Pollak. I've known him since She's All That.
I was like, well, wait a minute though. Kevin's really not even old enough to be anyone's dad.
I called in a lot of favors.
So when you and Monica get back together again, I mean, it was like a soul-soothing for the audience to see,
good.
but what was that like for you two coming back together again on screen?
She said, it felt like we were going to work the very next day after finishing Head Over Heels.
Yeah.
Like, we've always stayed in touch, and she knows my family, and I know hers. And so it really did feel like the next day I just look a lot older. She still looks great. I aged for all the women that I worked with. I took all their years on my shoulders.
What stands out about the first time you met Monica though, all those years ago?
She's completely crazy, like completely nuts.
That wasn't what I expected you to say.
I love her so much. Like, she will say whatever is on her mind. She is completely blunt. She's a sensitive soul, but she's so blunt. She's an incredible mother. I love everything about her, man. But she's completely insane. Like, you get on set, and once we have the scene, the next take is gonna be what Monica wants to do.
So you said you made this in 15 days.
Yeah.
You also executive produced this film. So what is it about the story of a man hiding the body of his mistress from his wife that appealed so much to you?
I loved that every choice this guy has, he turns the wrong direction.
Yeah.
All it required was a phone call to the police. That's all it required. But in doing that, it exposes his affair in which he loses everything. This is a man who's emasculated by everyone in his family.
One of the things that like all my friends and family in my life tell me is that I'm the worst liar because
Okay.
I have no poker face.
So no poker for you.
Child, you see it on my face every time. What about you? Do you have a poker face? And are you good at like hiding things from Sarah Michelle?
We've been together forever, so that's not, we don't really hide stuff. I don't think that's the key to a good relationship, or at least a successful one. So with Sarah, I don't worry about that stuff, but I'm terrible at poker.
I am the worst, the absolute worst. You talked about the fact that you always played kind of the perfect guy, and that's why we fell in love with you, and you made a name for yourself in She's All That, and I know what you did last summer, all of those things. That when She's All That is on, I still stop. I don't care when it is. I don't care
Every
what
hair
part
salon
of the movie
in the world,
it's
it's always
I don't care.
playing.
Yeah, nail salon,
Nail
hair
salon,
salon,
yeah.
Saturday afternoon. I don't care if I come in at almost the end. I'm still stopping and I'm watching that.
So, can I have the last dance?
No. You can have the first.
How does it feel all these years later to have those movies live on? And have you passed them on now to your kids?
I haven't had my son watch She's All That yet. My daughter's pretty much seen it all now.
Got it.
And she has an interest in the business, so she watches it more for those purposes. My son just wants to drive fast. Like, he doesn't care about this industry.
Yes.
He likes anime, he likes fast cars, and like basketball, football, that kind of stuff. He doesn't have a lot of love for the arts, so I haven't introduced him to much. I think he's seen part of Scooby. I don't think he was really into it because it wasn't violent enough. He likes seeing the bad guys get punched in the
Yes.
face. So yeah, not so much to him, but definitely, I think my daughter's probably seen just about everything.
I've had this talk with a lot of actors whose kids decide, yeah, I'm gonna go into this business. Does that scare you and Sarah Michelle at all?
No, I mean, she'll be an adult by the time we allow her to do it.
Okay,
I
got it.
don't believe in child actors, even though my wife was one. I think it's a really hard life. I think you grow up way too quick.
Yeah.
So when my kids, I encourage them to do whatever they believe in, but before you pursue a profession, you'll be 18. I want you to have an opportunity
I like
to
that.
be a kid first.
So that's the household rule. You
Yeah,
can love
that's
this,
our
but
rule. That's what works for
I
us.
like that.
That might look. I don't like giving advice. Advice is like peanut butter. It might kill the next person, but I find it delicious. You know what I mean?
Right.
It works for me. So yeah, do what works for you. But that's what works for us.